Hi guys, it's KJM and it's hump day. I wanted to do a quick update on my waist training journey. So I started, I think, on February 24th waist training, and I am still wearing the Luxe Curves Perfect Curves, their traditional waist trainer. So I waist trained from February 24th all the way, I think, until mid-May, almost going into like the May 20s. So I went like a straight 80 days waist training 7 days a week. Now, there were some good points about that and there were some bad points. Biggest bad point about that is that when I came back from my vacation, my body trying to adjust from taking like 2.5 weeks off from waist training was actually kind of difficult. So in the beginning, my first full week, back from vacation, I had on the waist trainer and I treated it like I was, like I was on my period. So I made it bigger. I added another extender and it was fine. Then and I only did it for about 3 days, 8 hours. Second full week back from vacation, I decided to try to go back to where I was in waist training, where it was one extender and I was on the beginning of the loops with the one extender. FYI, this is a small waist trainer, but with the extender, it goes up, it makes it a medium. I only have one extender on right now, so I'm trying this again. But in that second week, when I tried to go back to where I was, my waist physically stayed at about 34 inches. So that's the first tip I want to give y'all, is that if you take even a month off from waist training, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference, because I really think I was at 34 inches. I think I was at 34 inches, maybe 33 and a half when I went on vacation. And then when I came back, I waited about 2 weeks or so, measured myself again, and I was at a 34 waist. Mind you, on this journey, I started 38 inches. So because I consistently went through waist training for about 80 days, it definitely became a habit. So when I came back, even though sometimes breaking in the new waist trainer is still hurting my left shoulder, even when I use gloves, for some reason I'm pulling like crazy. So it became a habit. Now I'm trying to get back in it. To get back in it, I slowly had to get myself used to having this thing on for at least 8 hours a day. So second week, I attempted for 2 days to have the waist trainer on. And this time with just the one extender like I do right now. I started spotting, and there's multiple reasons why that could have happened. And I didn't know if it was because of the waist trainer. And I wasn't supposed to get my cycle to the next week. So I basically spotted all throughout that week, and then I got my cycle the second week, and I was just like frightened. When I saw that, and I saw that I was spotting, I immediately just stopped waist training. So if you're noticing something different about your body and you're trying to jump back into waist training and you're not 100% sure what it is, even though I knew that I had a good feeling of what the issue is and it had nothing to do with waist training, but to be on the safe side, I just completely stopped waist training. So in the month of June, I think total, after being consistent all of March, all of April, and about 80% of May, I literally went to like 10 days in June of waist training. And part of that was for health reasons, to like reintroduce myself to it, make sure it's not causing any issues, making sure I don't have it too tight. I had a feeling I didn't have it on too tight because, like I said, the inches in my waist really didn't change in the short period of time that I was on waist training. Now, if you're going to take something like 2, 3, 4 months and above off from waist training, you're probably going to see a real big difference in your waist if you weren't doing something else to maintain. Now, once again, I work out 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday, I work out. So, and that never stopped, whether I was spotting or not spotting, but I had to just stop the waist training. So in June, I only waist trained for about 10 days. And then I was really freaking out because I was like, oh my God, my waist is probably back to a 38. I measured again and it was at a 34. So definitely if you have an off month because you're traveling and you can't waist train, like this doesn't go with a bikini. And on my vacation, I spent more time in a bikini than any other type of outfit. And I'm not wearing this out to dinner at night. So sometimes it's not feasible. Once you do 30 days straight though, they tell you don't have to waist train every day. I went 80 days straight. And I think that's why my body had some issues adjusting. So now what I'm trying to do is just waist train Monday through Friday, and I'm not trying to do it on the weekends. I'm just like not trying to do it. I still keep notes what days and what times on my phone that I put on the trainer, what time I took it off, how many hours I had it off. I keep those kind of notes from the beginning in February, and that's really helpful. Now, let me go into how I really feel about waist training. When I came back, because it's a habit, my body did kind of crave it. But to be honest, getting back into the routine of it, there was a couple times I wanted to set the waist trainer on fire, especially leading up to my birthday trip, right? I had planned, I think I left on May 23rd. So I had planned to stop waist training on May 21st, that Saturday. But what happened is because my left shoulder is so tender from pulling to put this thing on, even with gloves by myself, I had to stop a couple days earlier and then to like stretch out and strengthen this shoulder in order to make it that when I'm on my vacation, I can carry my beach bags and all that other stuff. Like I had to put a stop to waist training a little bit earlier because I get that twinge, that feeling. I don't know if it's happening for anyone else. I'm trying to work on how I put this trainer on. The gloves definitely helps, but whatever that's going on with my shoulder, I'm trying to make sure I work it out. I'm trying to make sure I stretch it out. But I'm be honest, so leading up to my trip, the waist trainer really got in the way and it was really hurting my arms. So I had to, I had to take it off much earlier than I wanted to. Now coming back and getting into the routine, like I told you guys before, if you're ever upset, having on the waist trainer is like not a good thing because it really restricts you. And then when you're trying to take the thing off, it's going to be like sucking on for dear life. And there was one day I was so upset. Was it Friday? I think it was last Friday. And I thought I was going to have to cut myself out of this shit. So I promise you guys that I'm going to waist train up until either end of September, beginning of October, and I'm keeping my word. But I'm going to be honest, I like working out better. Waist training, it's not for the weak. I think people who make it seem simple have been doing it for a really long time, or they don't mind being in gym clothes 24 hours a day. Even though I'm home, I don't like to be in gym clothes 24 hours a day. I like a nice dress, and hence I have a dress on now. Actually, this is a dress that I was supposed to wear on my vacation, and then I chose not to bring it because I was like, oh, it's too many colors, yada, 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 And actually, I'm not sure, if I already mentioned this, but with these crazy colors and stuff, I figured it would go well with this wig, and it was a great way to kind of promote this wig, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, so this is not a wig review, so we ain't gonna talk about that. How I feel about waist training is there are moments where I just don't feel like doing it. There are moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? But I made a promise and I'm going to try to keep my promise. Benefits. It does help with my cycle. It does make it less violent. Definitely, I was a little worried when I was on my vacation how I would look in my bikini and yada, yada, yada. Because like I said, with waist training, I tried to focus on being consistent before I set any kind of goals. And I still haven't set any kind of goals. I'm just focused on being consistent in this thing. But if I ever order an X small and get into that bad boy, even with an extender, baby, y'all ain't going to be able to talk to me. You ain't going to be able to talk to me. I'm be acting all types of a fool because I would have never thought I could get my waist down that small, especially with suffering from a medical issue that gives me that bloat in my stomach. So yeah, it's not for the weak. I'm not in love with it. I'm not promoting it. I'm trying to stick with it because I don't believe in trying things for just 2 months or 3 months and then getting back to people. I think if you try something 3 to 6 months or a little bit over the 3-month mark, then you get a better idea of stuff. I think it's not for everybody. Obviously, if you're having any kind of health issues, if you're having a hard time getting into it, if you have arthritis, if you have any kind of shoulder surgery, this thing is not going to be the thing for you. Now, once again, Luxe Perfect Curves, I personally like this company. It's the first one I'm testing out, but there's a million other waist trainer companies out there, and maybe there's one out there for you. So if this isn't good for you, there's probably something else. For me, I'm still sticking with this because I feel like it's doing its job. But baby, you can't just waist train. You need to still be working out and watching what you eat and drink. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's KJM. It's hump day. That was my waist training update. Write me if you have any questions for me. I'm trying to hang in there for you because honestly, I could set this thing on fire tomorrow. and I'm out.